Hello, my crafty friends. Well, I've been working on this little fabric journal that was in our kit for the Disabled Artist Foundation's design team kit, where we were making three things. The first three kits we got all came together. The first one I did an altered box, and that's in the playlist. And this is a little fabric journal. And when I opened the unboxing of the stuff that I was sent, I showed you what this journal looked like, and I should have probably put that at the beginning of this video, but I didn't think about it. I was working on this while I was sitting in my recliner, so what I've done so far, I didn't do where I could record it. But one thing I did was this quilted fabric was the outside. And so I turned it wrong side out and made that an inside page because I wanted to cover the book in this, but I didn't really want to cover up that quilted fabric too much. So, so I turned my book inside out and covered it with this, I'm not even sure what it is. It's some kind of little embroidered doily thing. And then I put a piece of, this was out of my stash, but then I put this piece of lace that was in the kit. I put it on it. So this is what it looks like. It's a pretty compact little book. It's really nice. And then the first page I covered with this fabric, and the second page with the pink fabric that was in the book, in the bag. And then I also added some of my own lace on top of that. And then I added this lace that was in the kit on top of this quilted page. And then this is some of the fabric that was in the kit. I really love that fabric. It's pretty fabric. And there was a nice amount of it in there. And then I put this crocheted doily thing on the last page. So that's what the book looks like. My idea for the book is to make it a storage place for fabric embellishments. So I've been making some fabric embellishments, and I'm going to put them in the book. And so what I've done is I sewed them together with a button, and they're not glued down. They're just sewed together with a button. And then I also sewed a little safety pin on the back so that you can put them in here to store them. I haven't tried to actually do it. So you can put them in here to store them. And then, let's see, there's a little safety pin. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to fill it up with these. And my thought is that whoever wins this in the auction can take these little things out and use them in journals or whatever, and then they can and I'm trying to alternate where they lay so that that'll limit the amount of layers. So you can see I've got these, well, they're a little too close here. Let me move those. I didn't think about them being right in the crease of the page, and that's not what we want. But anyway, after you've used these, then you can make some more, and you can fill up the book with your own and just store them there until you need to use them. So you can put them both places, you know, all on all the pages. And I plan to put some on all the pages so that when you get the book, if you win it in the auction, you will have plenty of choices to start out playing with. And see. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some on this page, and I'm going to put some on this page and this page before it gets to the auction. I thought I'd go ahead and just show you real quick how I'm doing them. The ones that I've got in there are all done with circles. And so let's just save that for something else because it's pretty like it is. So I've got a couple of circles here, and that's going to be my base. And I'm just going to kind of show you how I did it. Let's just go ahead and now I'll probably put something colored in between those two white layers, but you wouldn't have to. You could do a whole little flower that's all white. Why don't we do one of those just for kicks? So you could do it like this and then put a white button on it. That's not very white. It's the problem with old buttons is they're not very white. Well, that may have to be. Okay. That one's more. There we go. I'll save those for another one. Okay, let's see if I have something else white here that I can put to make a little bit bigger base for that one. Okay, I don't here. Let me pull out this lace again. I'll do one from this. Let me pause just a second. Okay, I went ahead and cut out a piece of this, and I put it on the back. And then I had some thread left from, let's do a small pin because I don't want it to show up. Okay, then I just take this stack and and they're not going to be perfect. These are and I just sew, if the button has 4 holes in it, I just sew a crisscross through the buttonholes. And if it just has 2 holes in it, then I go through it twice. Because it's not like we're going to be opening and shutting, you know, shirts with these buttons. And then I'd go ahead and tie this couple of times. And then I figure out which way my my clip opens, so I know that this is the side. Okay, if it opens on this side, then that side is the side I want to sew down. And if you do it the wrong way, it's obvious pretty quickly when you try to when you try to open it up to pin it onto something. So that's something to check twice. Okay, come on. Okay. Now I'm just going to go through and just sew it down. I didn't have this much trouble last night when I was making those other ones. And it works best if you kind of go at an angle like this and not straight across, to get your needle to go in inside that pin, so that you're only locking down one side of the Now, if you're using these and you decide you don't want to pin them on, you want to glue them down, you can do that. For one thing, the safety pin doesn't really get in the way. For another thing, the well, you could just take, just clip the threads and take the safety pin off if you want to too. So okay, and then I just clip those. And then I have a little fabric flower with a button. For this one, I'm going to put that pink in there. And let's see, what do I want to use next? There's not much in my stash that's that color. So you have to kind of find things that are you're okay with not matching. So, and you want to vary, of course, the size of your circles. Like that. And you can put some kind of piece of lacy stuff on top. You could also just put a little piece of ribbon across there. Let's find a little piece of lace to go opposite that ribbon, just so it'll show up more that it's ribbon. So this could be, and then we've got, we'll just go ahead and use this button. If I had a quick access to a pink button, that might show up more, but the hardest part's finding that hole from behind. Now you could glue this stuff down and then just sew your pin on from the back. if you want to. You don't have to sew everything down. But I like the fact that when it is sewn down, and I've done a lot of them with glue. I have no problem doing that. I like those just fine. But you can keep all the layers really well. Okay. Let's go this way. And then I'm just going to sew the pin on. The more layers you have, the harder it is to get this to go through there easy. This one's working real nicely because it's not as puffy as the other ones are. Oops. Don't want to do that. I went right through that other layer. And then I'm just going to tie this just to secure it better. Okay. And I haven't tried this yet, but I thought it might be fun to do some that are like have a base that is rectangles instead of squares. Let's save that for on a topper, more of a top layer. And then you can put a layer like that. And let's see. That would work, but not with this one because this is so wide. So let's, this is lace that was in the kit, and I'm just cutting off that band because that flattens it out. And I made circles out of this too, but right now I'm going to make rectangles out of it. And you could continue let's just go on another layer. Ooh, this would be fun. Because see, these don't lend themselves to circles. But they'll work in this more rectangular one. All right, let's find a button for that one. Now you could use, I've got these little wooden buttons. You could use something like that on there. That would be cute. Maybe that one would be better. It's not quite as bright. Here's one that I dipped in fingernail polish that could go on there. Here's one that's made out of mother of pearl that could go on there. You could also put just a pretty red one on there. I think that's what I'm going to do. Might as well let it show up pretty. And there is some red on the bottom, so it I usually, because this needle's not terribly easy to thread, I usually do it enough I can do 2 or 3. Enough thread to do 2 or 3. And I use a pretty sturdy cotton twine. It's not sewing thread. Sewing thread would work fine. I just think this is stronger, and so I feel more secure having used something stronger. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to go through it a couple of times since the button just has 2 holes. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie this on the back. Make sure which side opens. Let me zoom in a little bit. Make sure which side opens, and I usually hold that side to me. And then run the needle through the middle. That way I'm coming out with the side that I want to sew in kind of above, like that. It's amazing how much easier some fabric is than others to go through when you're doing this. Oops. Okay. There I was trying to go straight, and it wasn't wanting to work, so. Try not to grab that thread. Kind of undermines what you're doing if it gets caught in there. Sometimes I have to push against the table. Uh-oh. It probably doesn't need to be sewn on there as many times as I do, but I just want to be sure that it stays put. Okay. So there's one that's, I think it's really pretty, and it's made from rectangles, not from circles. So if you don't like to cut circles, Or if you like something that looks a little bit, I don't know how to, a little bit more shabby chic, I guess you could do that one. And then, I haven't tried this either, but I thought it might be fun to do some that had a base that was triangles. I don't know. I think I want them to be not perfectly squares, but relatively square. So this may not work at all. So let's see. Maybe squares would have been better. I'm going to stick that piece on there. Since we're doing sharp edges, it'll be fine. Oh, well, there I could have done a triangle. We'll put it with this one. So let's build a couple of them here. And let's put some of this lace on it too. See what we can do with that. Okay. So the point of this is to make the, a bunch of little points coming out in different ways. Let's see, what else can we use? Maybe I want that underneath this lace. Okay. Try to keep different points coming out in different places. And let's see. Okay, these are not going to be triangles. They're just going to be little bitty squares on top. Let's do that one with that and this one with this. And then we'll put, if we can find a tiny enough button to show up on those, we'll do that. Now we could do this and do a circle base underneath it. Let's try that. I might like that better. But I won't know till I try it. Okay. Okay, we're going to cut a Oh, those are not going to be big enough. No, those are not going to be big enough, so we'll set those aside and use them for something else. Let's try again. Let's just do one to start out with. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I like that better. So, that's very flimsy. I think you want your bottom piece to be something that's maybe not quite so flimsy. Well, that's not very round, but we're going to use it anyway. Just to show you how cute they are, even if you don't have it even if you don't have it cut perfect. And I need some really tiny little buttons here. Okay, let's put some of them down in here. See if that will help me. Ooh, there's this little satin one. That'd be cute. But this is the kind of thing I was looking for, something really tiny. So we're going to use those two. Let's set that right there. I didn't make this one long enough to do three, just enough to do two. So we're going to do this one real quick, because these with the post on them are a little bit harder to do. So oh dear, man, that's not wanting to go through. Okay, well, I have no idea where that cute little button went. Oh, there it is. Okay. And then we're going to go back down on the opposite side of that button. And then we'll come up. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Okay. That one is not even centered. Oh dear. Just going to go ahead and maybe tie it right here. Okay. And then Whoops. I just realized I put this on the wrong side of the pin. So I'm just going to cut it there. And then I'm going to tie this one off by bringing it inside of itself. We'll just do that a couple of times. Okay. That's not my best work, but it was an experiment. I'm going to go ahead and include it because somebody might really like it. And then I'm going to do this one. If we can get some more thread. Okay. And I'm obviously going to have to make some more because the 5 I've made here with you is not going to be enough to, these are kind of hard to go through, these little things with the ribbon. I'm not sure this is the same needle I was using earlier. It doesn't make sense for it to be a different needle, but okay. And now then I'm going to go back down. Okay. Getting it through again. You kind of have to really pay attention there. And I'm going to go ahead and just go back down. And you want to try to make sure that you're going down on the same side you came out with, and that string, see, it was trying to get wrapped around, so it wouldn't pull tightly if I let it get wrapped around. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie this knot. Let's try again. Okay. Let's see if I got another safety pin. I do. Okay. All right. These bigger safety pins are a lot easier to sew down than those really tiny ones. And once again, it also depends on what fabric is your base fabric. Some of it's easier to go through than others. Okay. And there's another one. So let's go ahead and put these in our book. And I think I'm going to make a couple more of these kind of triangle-y ones. I think those are pretty. Okay, there's that page. And then we've got this page. So let's go straight into the middle of the book with this one. Put that one there. That one there. And we'll put one trying to figure out right there. Because I don't want to stack these. So when I fold it, this one will go here instead of on top of that one. That's kind of what I'm, and this one needs to be scooted over. Well, or maybe I could do it. No, this one needs to be scooted over some more. Okay, and then we're going to put this one down here. And there, that folds in there. Okay, so far I have these and an empty page there, and I have those 4 and an empty page there, and I have those 3. So I need to make I'll probably do 3 and 3 on these pages. And then our little book's going to be very full of pretty stuff. Oh, there's another one I forgot. Okay. I'm going to put it right here so it goes, in between where those are. There we go. Got a head start on that one. And then on this side, we will put one here and maybe one right down there. Just depends where it's the puffiest. Yeah, I think here and here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes. But I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me make all the rest of them. But I thought you might enjoy seeing what I'm doing. And this will be in the auction. I'm not sure when Kara will put it in the auction. I'll get it to her by the 1st of March. But I'm hoping to send all 3 of my projects to her by the 1st of March. But whether they'll be in the March auction or not depends on whether she's got how much stuff she's got to auction off. So God bless you. Bye-bye.